Good morning, everyone. We're going to get started as we usually do with some gathering music. First up is hymn number 346, Come Sing a Song With Me. So here we go. Now we'll let Melanie DeMore teach us another great gathering song.
Nothing in your hands. Let's get to going. Got a little call and response in between, but let's start with this. Come on now. Oh, y'all ready? Everybody here's got a place at the table. Everybody, everywhere, come on in. Come on now. Everybody here's got a place at the table. Everybody, everywhere, come on in. Again. Everybody here's got a place at the table. Everybody, everywhere, come on in. I'm saying everybody here's got a place at the table. Everybody, everywhere, come on in, sit on down. Glad you're here. Stick around. Why? Because everybody here's got a place at the table. Everybody, everywhere, come on in. I'm saying it's at the table. Everybody, everywhere, come on in. Us and them, you and me, everyone. A to Z. Because everybody here's got a place at the table. Everybody, everywhere, come on in. I'm saying everybody got a place at the table. Everybody, everywhere, come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Sit on down. Glad you're here. Stick around. Why? Because everybody here's got a place at the table. Everybody, everywhere, come on in. I'm saying everybody here's got a place at the table. Everybody, everywhere, come on in. I'm saying everybody here's got a place at the table. Everybody, everywhere, come on in. I'm saying everybody here's got a place. Everybody, everywhere, come. Harmony? Yes!
Welcome to the very first online service of the Napa Valley Unitarian Universalists. We are streaming live from our sanctuary at 1625 Salvador Avenue in Napa, California, because our state government has asked us to stop meeting in person so we can keep coronavirus from spreading. This is a way we can take good care of our community. My name is Reverend Dr. Leisa Huyck, and I am the parish minister here.
And my name is Raina Honegge, and I'm the celebrant for this morning's service.
You are welcome today if you're thrilled to have some time at home with your family, and you're welcome if you feel lonely and isolated.
You're welcome if you are afraid of getting sick, and you're welcome if you don't worry about it much.
You are welcome if you have plenty of resources to get by for the next few weeks, and you're welcome if you're right on the edge of losing everything.
You're welcome if you are seeking a community who will love you just as you are, and you're welcome if you want a community that will help you grow.
This is a place for all kinds of people with all kinds of gifts, old and young, poor and rich, cisgendered and transgendered, gay and straight, brown and white, disabled and temporarily able-bodied, and anyone in between or any combination of the above. Whoever you are and whatever your need, you are welcome here. Now, we normally greet one another at this time in the service, so I want us to imagine the faces and shining eyes and loving smiles of the people who might be with us this morning. Imagine greeting your friends, and we've seen that there are many of you on the chat, so say hi to each other. And now let's also imagine greeting the people whom you have not met, who often sit around the edges and toward the back. If you're on the chat, let us know you're here. Now is the time for centering through music. Thank you, Brian, for that gift of beautiful music. Brian Shaw is with us this morning, and he is providing a lot of our music. We gather in the presence of all that is most holy, the fresh, sweet air, the hidden sun, the life-giving rains, the round green hills, the love that moves in and among us. We gather in search of meaning and inspiration, in search of hope and healing. We gather to share our joys and our sorrows and to mark the passing of our years. We gather to heed the call of love to compassionate action. All this month, we're pondering the question, what does it mean to be a people of wisdom? Today, we'll think about how wisdom allows us to lead with love in this time of pandemic. Come, let us bring our whole selves to this time, and let us worship together. Every Sunday, we light a chalice, the symbol of our faith. Today, we'll sing our chalice lighting words, hymn number 123, Spirit of Life. It's on video, right? Brian, the video. Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. Now, who would like to hear a story? Well, it's not so much a story today as it is a comic. And I am going to pull it up so I can start it. And this comic was developed by the people at National Public Radio because they had been talking to kids about their worries and concerns and fears about coronavirus. So the comic was drawn by Malaka Gharib. It's a word you might have heard at school or online or on TV. Ah! What? He might have Is it working now? All right. Well, we're sorry, everyone. We hope you'll be patient with us while we work out these technical glitches. We've never done this before, and it's very new for all of us. So I just want to stop for a second and say hi to the kids. I'm imagining you sitting on the cushions in the front of the sanctuary in front of me, and I'm imagining you looking up as I go over to tell you the story with your bright, shining eyes the way you always do. And I'm imagining seeing Kai and Violet and Finn and Poppy and Iggy and Paxton. And I'm imagining Trajan and all of these beautiful, shining faces. And if I haven't said your name this time, I'll be sure to say it next time. So, let's start over. We're talking today about where were we? Right at the beginning again. Okay. It's a word you might have heard at school or online or TV. Sniff, sniff. Ah, what? He might have the coronavirus. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Wait, what is that? The coronavirus is a newly discovered virus. It causes a disease called COVID-19. In some parts of the world, it has made a lot of people sick. Coronavirus facts. Corona is Latin for crown. Under a microscope, these viruses look like a crown with spikes ending in little blobs. A lot of the symptoms are similar to the flu, which you might have had before. Dry, itchy cough, fever, oh, feel hot, kind of hard to breathe. Most people who have gotten sick with this coronavirus have had a mild case, and there aren't a lot of cases in kids. If kids do get the virus, it tends to be very mild. Mild means not very strong, like mild salsa is the least spicy. I myself, this person says, prefers spicy salsa. I do not. I like mild. People who are People who are much older or who already have health problems are more likely to get sick with coronavirus, sicker. What about dad and mom and grandpa and grandma and uncle and auntie? If anyone gets sick and feels like they might have coronavirus, they can immediately call their doctors and get help. Well, what's the verdict, doc? You're okay. In the U.S., we don't have a lot of coronavirus cases. Well, we're getting a little bit more these days, but not as many as other countries. And medical people are tracking the disease very carefully and trying to make sure it doesn't spread. Let's find that coronavirus, the virus, somewhere out there in the world. Let's find it and let's stop it. And that's why school. Okay, I don't know where the transitions are. Okay, let's find that coronavirus and let's stop it. And that's why schools are closed. If there's anything you might be confused or worried about, don't be afraid to ask someone you trust. Uncle, I see a lot of people wearing face masks. Does that mean they have coronavirus? No, maybe they're trying not to get sick, or they may be sick with some other illness. But my friend at school told me, don't listen to your friend, listen to me. There are some things you can do to protect yourself, your family, and your friends from getting sick. 1, wash your hands often. For at least 20 seconds. You can sing the ABCs while you do that. That's about 20 seconds. Or you can sing all the hand washing songs that we did last week in church. Wash after using the bathroom or being in public spaces like the bus or playground. Try to get into all the nooks and crannies under your fingernails, between your fingers, up to your wrists. And don't sing the ABCs too fast. 2, sneeze into your elbows. Catch the sneeze. Catch the sneeze. Achoo! Coronavirus is believed to spread through little droplets of fluid from your lungs. If you sneeze into your elbows, you can prevent germs from going into the air and onto your hands. So this girl, she sneezes, and her uncle says, yuck, that's why you should always cover your mouth. 3, avoid touching your face. Don't pick your nose. Don't touch your mouth. Don't rub your eyes. But I love picking my nose. Geez, you can still do it. Just use a tissue, then throw it away. You don't want to touch your nose or your mouth or your eyes because these are the places where germs come into our bodies. It's very important to remember that this kind of virus can affect anybody. It doesn't matter where you come from or what country your parents are from. Just because someone looks different or talks differently doesn't mean that they're at a higher risk of getting the coronavirus or spreading it. And don't forget, there are a lot of helpers out there who are working to protect you. It is not your job to worry. We've got family, doctors, teachers, and helpers of all kinds. But seriously, though, please wash your hands. And that is the end of that comic, and hopefully just the beginning of how we will go through this pandemic. Now, let's sing our kids their special song, This Little Light of Mine, so that they can go and do whatever their parents want them to do while the rest of the service goes on. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
I invite you into a moment of receptivity and reflection as we hear the sorrows and the joys of this community. We make sacred the milestones of our lives when we share them with each other. Emily Schmidt had knee surgery and came through with flying colors. She would love cards right now, but no visitors. Her daughters are taking good care of her.
Let us hold in our hearts all those joys and sorrows that are too tender to share. Now, let's go deeper. I invite you to get comfortable in your chair. Take your hands off your keyboard, if that's where they've been. Place your feet on the floor and feel your connection to the earth, right through the floor to the living soil beneath. Pull your shoulders up to your ears and then drop them. Receive a sweet breath in and then out. I am here. Receive a second breath in and then out. You are there. A third breath in and then out. We are together. Now hear these words. Spirit of life, source and sustainer of all. At long last, rain has come, and we are grateful. How sweet it is to smell the damp, fragrant earth, to see colorful blossoms on fruit trees, to hear the songs of mockingbirds and robins and wrens. How sweet it is to be alive in springtime. And yet how painful to think of all those who are suffering because they have no money to tide them over a time of not working, no food to feed children who are out of school, no way to get clean when the showers at the gyms are closed. And how frightening it can be to wonder, will we get sick? How bad will it be? When our thoughts begin to race and our fears begin to rise, may we remember the sweetness of this rain, the beauty of this earth, and the love that holds us here together. Let us send that love to all who need it. Amen. Blessed be. Now let us follow the sound of the bell into silence. Melanie DeMore will bring us out, and you'll join her in the refrain.
I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. No matter where you go, no matter where you've been, you'll never walk alone. I feel you deep within. So I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. No matter what you feel or what you choose to show, I'm always there for you. And so I want you to know that I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I walk the path with you. Go slow, dear one, don't hurry. I'll go just like you need to go. There is no need to worry, 'cause I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love.
Our reading this morning comes from Theresa Inés Soto. She wanted to know if I understood how important the event was. And I looked at my hands, palms up, for a second. I thought about the saliva pooling behind my bottom teeth. Droplet transmission and rulers, 3 feet, 6 feet. 6 is the radius of transmission. I want you to be the number of feet away that keeps us alive. As many of us as possible. Last week, I sat in the doorway and squirted people's hands with sanitizer as they dispersed. Reflections of the divine and vectors. Pandemic sacrament. Next week, all the sanitizer may be gone. Your friends getting treated in a hospital hallway. Doctors wearing diapers, collapsing, sometimes dying. When I ask you to stay home, to stop the social spread of COVID-19, I still know that you are strong and beautiful and brave. I know that you have taught yourself to understand that love is an action. But today, beloved, today, love is an inaction of stopping, of staying, of holding, not hands, but hearts, of holding the space between us, not only as a buffer, but also as holy. There is so much we don't know about the tiny parasite taking over our cells, reproducing at an alarming rapid rate. I know more about you, that your insistence on business as usual may be tinged with other things, but it is mostly dedication. You must now dedicate yourself to the survival of this community in the painstaking way of an artist painting on a grain of rice. I do know how important your life is, thrown together with ours. We are a fragile masterpiece. The vulnerable age was lowered to 50 yesterday. Please stay home.
Nothing in your hands. Let's get to going. Got a little call and response in between, but let's start with this. Come on now. Oh, y'all ready? Everybody here's got a place at the table. Everybody, everywhere, come on in. Come on now. Everybody here's got a place at the table. Everybody, everywhere, come on in. Again. Everybody here's got a place at the table. Everybody, everywhere, come. Here's your chance to sing again, family. We are going to sing Put One Foot in Front of the Other and Lead with Love. I wrote that song the day after the election last year. I was working with people in Minneapolis, some kids in Minneapolis, St. Paul, doing a big project. I walked into rehearsal at the middle school in St. Paul. 2 black kids stopped me and looked me in the eye, shaking, said, "Does this mean we're going to be slaves again?" I said, "Babies, we need to talk." All of the great movements, I said, first of all, they're going to have to come through me to get to you. Second of all, there's a whole lot more people with you against you. Third of all, you don't have to be afraid of people who don't look like you. And I said, I want you to think about all the people who led incredible movements. I want you to think about Martin Luther King, Dolores Huerta. I want you to think about Cesar Chavez. I want you to think about Mandela. I want you to think about Mother Theresa. I want you to think about Malcolm X. All of these people started their movements out of the love of their people, not out of the hatred of someone else. So just sing with me and raise your voices really high. Here we go. Come on. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Don't give up hope. You're not alone. Don't you give up. Keep moving on. We gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Lift up your eyes. Don't you despair. Look up ahead. The path is there. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. I know you're scared. And I'm scared too. But here I am, right next to you. We gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. We gotta put and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Don't give up hope. You're not alone. Don't you give up. Keep moving on. We gotta put, yeah, and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. We gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. And lead with love. And lead with love. And lead, come on, with what? Love.
You've all heard the stories, right? People who won't drink Corona beer. People hoarding vast quantities of toilet paper. Really? Toilet paper? I would think people would be more concerned about hoarding canned food. It all sounds so illogical and crazy because it is. People are acting from fear. When humans are afraid, our limbic systems get all activated. Adrenaline and other stress hormones are racing around in our bodies and shredding our brain cells. Our amygdala is telling us to fight, fly, or freeze, sometimes all three at once. We don't have access to our cerebral cortex, the thinking and reasoning part of our brains, so we do crazy, illogical things. Instead of laughing at the people who are so afraid, maybe we should be trying to help. We should be leading with love. But what if we too are afraid? What if we too are running in circles, not knowing what to do? What are some of the ways we can calm our amygdalas down and connect with our better selves? One simple way is to sing. We do that in church every Sunday, and maybe we can do it at other times too in groups, but how can we sing in groups if we can't get together in person? In Siena, Italy, there's a song that the whole town knows and loves because it has come down through many generations. After Italy finally put its people in lockdown, there was no one on the usually busy streets, no one on the usually full town square sitting and having cafe latte, no one outside anywhere. And so one dark night, a man opened his window, leaned out, and began to sing. Soon another voice joined in, and then another, until the full, rich sound of an impromptu choir singing the town anthem filled the narrow streets. Singing. Are there songs that you know that you could start belting out in your neighborhood? Get everyone out on their porches or in front of their doors, not right up close to each other, but close enough, 6 feet away, to hear that you could sing? Could you get out your musical instruments and start playing? We may not be able to stand right next to each other, but we can still be in community and sing. Another way to calm our limbic systems is to pray. I know where you use, and some of us are allergic to the word prayer. For some of us, prayer means asking a kind of Santa Claus God for what we want in a given moment. But in almost every world religion, that description of prayer is only accurate for very small children who are just starting to learn about it. Spiritually mature adults of other religions understand that prayer is something different and much deeper. It is about reaching out with our whole self to express our relationship with that transcendent mystery, that vast living whole of which we are but one small part. Some people do call that transcendent mystery God. Some call it the universe, and some just call it love with a capital L. Sometimes in prayer, we express grief and sorrow and rage. Sometimes we express our yearning for wholeness and healing. Sometimes in prayer, we express gratitude for this astoundingly beautiful world and all that we have. Annie Lamott says there are 3 kinds of prayer: help, thanks, wow. Simone Weil characterizes prayer as absolutely unmixed attention. There are many forms of prayer: speaking, writing, dancing, painting, sculpting, singing, silence, hiking, almost anything that puts us in a state of unmixed attention, or what has been called flow, can be considered prayer. Meditation is also prayer, and vice versa. Here is another way to calm the limbic system is to laugh, not unkindly at other suffering people, but at the absurdity of human life on earth in this moment. Brian, I need Tim Hawkins. Here is comedian Tim Hawkins on hand sanitizer in church.
There's a lot of hand sanitizer in church. Anybody notice that? I don't know. At my church, they have these 2 hand sanitizer stations right by the front door greeters. That is not a good message. People come in on Sunday, how you doing? Nice to see y'all. It's good to see you. Thanks for coming to visit. You're going to love it here. We just love people. You can just be yourself. You can just be yourself. We don't care. We don't judge you. We just love. You sit back, and whatever questions you have, you let us know. We'll let you know whatever we can do for you, okay? Y'all newly married, you got 4 kids? 4 kids. That is amazing. We love kids here. Kids are like a little gift from God is what they are. They are just wonderful little creatures that God gives us. Yeah, where y'all from? Arkansas? Okay. There's some mints in the basket. Grab a handful, you circus freaks. Go ahead.
Now that was 10 years ago, before we were in the mess we're in now. It's not exactly the same message as we're trying to get out now, is it? And yet, it still has truth in it. How do we inadvertently give people the message that they're not quite worthy of our love and care? Our whole society is giving quite a lot of our people that message right now. My daughter is a librarian at a community college outside Sacramento. Yesterday morning, she texted me this message: all Los Rios campuses are shutting down until April 13th. I'm so worried about our vulnerable students. We have huge chunks of housing and food insecure students and without internet. We're cataloging every laptop on campus and bought even more for students without computers, but they're not going to do much good if the people don't have internet. And what are the students who use the gym for hygiene going to do? We're only as safe from this pandemic as the least cared for people in this society, which means we're not really safe at all. And that brings me to a fourth way we can calm our fears, and that is to lead with love. Act from our faith and our values. Our UU faith says we affirm and respect the inherent worth and dignity of every person, and also the interdependent web of all existence of which we're part. We are the love people. This pandemic has revealed just exactly how interconnected we all are. We need to do all we can to make everyone as safe as possible, make sure everyone has food and housing and a way to keep clean. Let's get really creative. What if we got the government to commandeer motels to house everyone who needs shelter and sanitation and internet? What if it did the same with the 5 dwellings in San Francisco that sit empty for each one that is occupied? What if we did it with cruise ships? If the government won't do it, what if we paid for motel rooms for those housing insecure students, of which I'm sure there are many in Napa also? And what if we figured out a way to get food to all those families whose kids only get a good meal once a day at school? The schools know who they are. Could the PTO organize a food delivery system for them? My sister organized something similar for the hungry families at her kids' school for Christmas break. There are so many things we can do, even from the confines of our living rooms. And studies have shown that loving kindness not only makes us feel good, but it is contagious. Let me share some excerpts with you from a report by Jill Sutty and Jason Marsh at the Greater Good Science Center at UC Berkeley. One study found that giving money to someone else lifted participants' happiness more than spending it on themselves, despite participants' prediction that spending it on themselves would make them happier. Another found that when people give to charities, it activates regions of the brain associated with pleasure, social connection, and trust, creating a warm glow effect. Still another found that giving to others has been shown to increase benefits and health benefits in people with chronic illness, including HIV and multiple sclerosis. Several studies have found that elderly people who volunteered for 2 or more organizations are about half as likely to die over a 5-year period as non-volunteers. Providing practical help to friends, relatives, or neighbors, or giving emotional support to their spouses has the same benefit. Other studies have found that when you give to others, your generosity is likely to be rewarded by others down the line, sometimes by the person you gave to, sometimes by someone else. These exchanges promote a sense of trust and cooperation that strengthens our ties to others. As researcher John Cacioppo writes in his book Loneliness, Human Nature and the Need for Social Connection, the more extensive the reciprocal altruism born of social connection, the greater the advance toward health, wealth, and happiness. What's more, when we give to others, we don't only make them feel closer to us, we also feel closer to them. Being kind and generous leads you to perceive others more positively and more charitably, writes Sonia Yomirsky in her book, The How of Happiness. And this fosters a heightened sense of interdependence and cooperation in your social community. When one person behaves generously, it inspires observers to behave generously later toward different people. In fact, some researchers found that altruism could spread by 3 degrees, from person to person to person. As a result, they write, each person in a network can influence dozens or even hundreds of people, some of whom he or she does not know and has not met. Giving has also been linked to the release of oxytocin, a hormone also released during sex and breastfeeding that causes feelings of warmth, euphoria, and connection to others. A dose of oxytocin will cause people to give more generously and to feel more empathy toward others for up to 2 hours. And those people on an oxytocin high can potentially jumpstart a virtuous circle where one person's generous behavior triggers another's. When we lead with love, we make everything better for everyone. At this unique moment in history, we have a choice. We can act from our fear and isolate ourselves among giant piles of toilet paper, or we can act from our love, remain connected, and share all we can. Let us always choose love.
Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. This congregation depends entirely upon the generosity of its members and friends. All that we give in time, talent, and treasure is what sustains this community and makes it not just a sanctuary for us to return for spiritual nourishment, but an oasis from which we can go out into the world carrying the waters of life. With today's offering, let us again practice generosity. The offering will now be gratefully received. You can go to the church website at nvuu.org and click on the donate button to the lower left.
Thank you for your many gifts. All you give and all you do is vitally important in building the beloved community in our region. I specifically want to thank Reiner for being this morning's celebrant, and I have huge thanks to give to Cindy Guntert-Baldo, who set up our YouTube channel and taught us how to use it. She's been standing by to consult on technical issues and moderate our chat. We could not have done this without her. Thank you, Cindy. I also have huge thanks to give to Brian Shaw for not only his wonderful music, but also for producing this service. Yesterday, we were here all day setting up cameras and computers and cables. He integrated the videos and generally made almost everything possible today. Thank you, Brian.
Now, I have several announcements and invitations into community for you. First, we've had to cancel the spring equinox celebration on March 21st. Second, for this year's Stewardship Drive, also known as Pledge Drive, the Stewardship Committee has planned to hold face-to-face meetings with us, with all the many members and pledging friends as possible. We have several visiting stewards who are poised to arrange meetings with everyone beginning in late March. However, with the COVID-19 issue, our visiting stewards will become virtual visiting stewards. All meetings will be held via the video or audio conferencing tool of your choice. The start date for these meetings is Monday, March 23rd. We hope to complete the meetings by mid-April. All the required information will be sent by regular mail and or email. Please contact David Lindsay with any questions. Third, Jeff Lelis has resigned from the NVUU board and will not be able to finish his term as treasurer. The board has appointed David Lindsay to take over as treasurer for the balance of the fiscal year through June 30th. If you have any treasurer-related questions, please contact him by phone or email.
In closing, I offer you this poem by Lynn Unger, who once was minister here for a couple of years. Pandemic. What if you thought of it as the Jews consider Sabbath, the most sacred of times? Cease from travel. Cease from buying and selling. Give up just for now on trying to make the world different than it is. Sing, pray, touch only those to whom you commit your life. Center down. And when your body has become still, reach out with your heart. Know that we are connected in ways that are terrifying and beautiful. You could hardly deny it now. Know that our lives are in one another's hands. Surely that has come clear. Do not reach out your hands, reach out your heart. Reach out your words. Reach out all the tendrils of compassion that move invisibly where we cannot touch. Promise this world your love, for better or for worse, in sickness and in health, so long as we all shall live. Now please rise in body or spirit to sing our closing song, which is number 348, Guide My Feet. And it's call and response, so I'll let you know which new words we'll be using. First, it's guide my feet while I run this race. Guide my feet while I run this race. Guide my feet while I run this race. Guide my feet while I run this race, for I don't want to run this race in vain. Race in vain. Hold my hand. Hold my hand while I run this race. Hold my hand while I run this race. Hold my hand while I run this race, for I don't want to run this race in vain. Race in vain. Stand by me. Stand by me while I run this race. Stand by me while I run this race. Stand by me race in vain, race in vain. Search my heart, search my heart while I run this race. Search my heart while I run this race. Search my heart while I run this race. For I don't want to run this race in vain, race in vain. We extinguish this chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of love, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts, in our living rooms, until we meet again. People of this beloved community, imagine each other's faces. Look around. Instead of being in touch with our bodies, we'll imagine looking around at these beloved ones who are our companions on our journey through life together. May you go forth from this place, from this time together, and lead with love. Go shining. Amen. Blessed be.